Let's look at how to automatically arrange all stops on a route. The first thing we're going to do is to go to routes and look at the automatic options. Now the first one says automatically arrange regular stops on a route. Those are just your regular cleaning jobs. But we want to arrange all stops on a route. So we're going to choose the second one, automatically arrange all stops on a route. So go ahead and click on it, and it brings up this screen. Now the first thing it wants to do is to find out what exactly do you want included when it plots the route on a map. So we're going to tell it, first of all, the date of all the scheduled jobs that we want to include. So we choose the date, and then the route. We're going to select a route from here to tell it which regular pools that are scheduled for cleaning for that particular day that we want to include in the route. Okay, the next thing is, where is the starting address and the stopping address? Well, we have two choices. You have a list of all the pool techs and their home addresses, and we also have the address of your business. So you can choose the starting point, either the pool tech's home address or the business address, and you can do the same thing for the stopping address. Now if you're going to plot a loop, then you're going to make the stopping address the same as the beginning address, the starting address. If you want a one-way trip, then the stopping address has to be different from the starting address. Okay, if you need to put in an address that's different from the pool tech's home address or your business address, then you want to type in an address. So go ahead and select type addresses, and you'll notice the screen changes and it gives you the opportunity to type in the starting address and the stopping address. For this demo, we're just going to stick with the lists. So we're going to select the pool tech and the route and his home address, and now that we've got all that filled in, we're going to click the submit button, and it's going to just put a general map up there. And now we're going to tell it to plot the pools and the jobs and everything onto this map. To do that, all we do is click the submit button, and it has now plot all the pools on the map. It has also updated the database with this information. So this is an optimized route, so it found the most efficient way to visit each one of these points. And if you want to see the address associated with a pin, all you have to do is click on it, and it will show you the address. You can go to another pin, and if you click on it, it will close this one and show you the address of the next pin, or you can close the display, the address display, by clicking on the X. But either way, clicking on one will close the other. Okay, you will notice that the starting, because we use the starting address and the ending address as the same, that it doesn't actually show you a pin for the letter A, the segment A. Even though here it's showing you segment A, the ending pin, which is F, sits right on top of A, so you will not see segment A. You will only see the ending pin. Now, we have efficiently plot this route on the map, but we can verify it by going back to the menu. So we click on Hydroscribe menu, and it takes us back here. And to verify that the pools are all in sequential order, we can go to manually arrange all stops, because one of the first things it does is shows you all the pools for a specific date, which is the date that we just plotted. So we choose the date again and the same route. We can click the submit button, and it now shows us that they're all in sequential order and in the proper order according to where the pool tech is leaving. Okay, now one more thing we're going to do. Let's do the same exercise again, but this time we're going to include a service request. So I go to Task Manager, and I'm going to look at my on-schedule service requests, and I'm going to add one for this customer. Now the reason I'm choosing this one is because this customer is scheduled for a pool cleaning on this date that I'm going to choose, and I'm also going to add this service request to the same date. So I'm going to schedule this job, so click on schedule, and there's the route. I'm going to leave the route the same one, and I'm going to choose today's date, and let's say we're going to choose 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and that's it. So now I'm just going to click the submit to schedule it, and there's my success message. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to automatically arrange this route, and it will include that service request. So I go to routes and I go back to automatically arrange all stops on a route, and this time I'm going to select the same date, which is today's date, select the same route, and I'm using the address from the list just to make things easy and simple. So I'm click the submit button to bring up my map, and now I'm going to say plot the addresses on the map. So I click the submit button to do that, and now it is plot all the pools on the map. And you'll notice that the first time we plotted, the ending address was lettered F. This time it's lettered G, so there's one more address, if you will, that's been included in the route. However, if you notice, the number of pins are the same. Now, why is that? Well, if we look, we'll notice that segment A is just as it was before. It starts at this address, goes to that one. B is the same as it was before. C is the same as it was before. However, D, you'll notice, is the same address. In fact, it's the same address as the ending address before. That's because D represents the service request that we've added. The service request is for the same pool as the C segment ended. Okay, so it's the same spot. Now you'll notice that even though it shows you where segment D begins and ends, there is no segment D plotted on the map. That's because this is an optimized route. It recognized that this pool was in the same address as the ending segment before, so it did not plot that address on the map. Okay, but we can still verify that even though we included a service request in the mix, that it still put the jobs and the pools in the right order. So let's go back to the menu, and we're going to go again to manually arrange all stops, and we're going to put in today's date and choose the same route, and we should see that they're all in the correct order. And as you can see, here's the service request that we included, and you can see that it grouped it with the pool that we're going to do the regular clean net. So yes, the route worked perfectly well, and that's how you arrange all the stops on a route.